So the ocean was, you know, he hadn't been to California yet, so the ocean was going to be almost like a new experience for him, being closer to adulthood. And he was all out in those tidal pools, and he was searching for aquatic life and turning rocks over in the pools and looking for lobster, and I don't know, seemed like we may have seen some starfish. They were really, really cool. We did it more than once. We also went for walks, you know, walked on the beach some. One thing that we did that we really enjoyed, or at least I did, and I think he did too, is Nels, Donna's husband. We had a Frisbee, and we were out on the beach.
On the beach with a Frisbee.
Yeah, and Nils and Jamison and myself just spread out and was throwing Frisbee. Donna was there too, but it was mainly just the three of us. And it was fun because we were, all three of us, pretty good with a Frisbee. So it wasn't like just standing a few feet from each other. We were spread out. We was letting it fly, and there was a lot of running and chasing going on. And
I'll be back after all of this is over.
Hey!
Huh?
I thought you'd be gone by now.
You're the organization.
Whoa, chill out. I'm not here to fight, I promise. Listen, name's Demix. It's a long story, but I'm sorta on your side. Oh, right. Here. See? All the cool kids have one, right? Yenzo got me this. Enough proof for you?
Why are you here?
I'm on a top secret mission. Apparently, they're looking to find themselves another replica. I heard a rumor that I could maybe find one here from Yenzo. So, I've just been killing time. Yeah.
You sure you know what you're doing?
Don't worry about it. Not to brag, but I've done this before.
That's not just an empty vessel. It's filled with important memories. Promise me, you'll be careful with it. Deliver it safely, okay?
Is Demix the master of masters?
Demix time.
I don't think so.
In a different body?
No. If he is, then I quit.
Well, he acts really stupid and animated.
That's what everyone says. They're like, oh, Demix must be him. It's like, no. No, he is not.
I don't want it to be him.
Yeah, no. Neither do I. I really don't think it's him. I think it's just kind of a coincidence that they're both, like, animated and goofy.
Alright.
And also, they're... Yeah, it could be different bodies and all different voices, but...
I don't want...
I really don't think that's
that would just be the cheapest writing. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Nomura, but, like, because... But that would be, like, two different, like, oh, I changed bodies a lot.
Yeah.
Things for two different characters.
Yeah.
And you could really get crazy if you're like, Lushu is also the master of masters, but his younger self and his younger self branched off from his older self and traded bodies.
Please
and then his older and more experienced self started hopping bodies again.
Oh no, please no.
Look closely. That's not Terra.
Wouldn't that just blow your mind?
Maybe not, but I'm still going to keep calling his name.
Wouldn't that make it automatically good?
We have to light his way home.
No.
Then.
Hey guys.
Nomura, take a creative writing
feeling
class.
a little left out here. Vanitas, you're coming home too.
You're grounded, Buster.
Huh? But my home is in you. You know what'll happen, right? I'll just disappear inside of you forever. Don't you have any love at all for your own brother?
You think you're too good for your brother. That's
We're
from...
the same.
That's a Kageto-kun video.
Huh?
Oh.
It's a real brother relationship from the old Mega Man cartoon.
Yeah.
You believe that? Then you really are naive. Huh?
Is this a new scene?
This may shock
Oh.
you, but we're not the same like you think.
Okay.
I was just hidden deep inside of you for a really long time. All Xehanort did was tear me right out of you.
Then go back to where you came from.
Make me.
Got him.
If it's darkness you're looking for, Ventus, then I have more than enough to go around.
Don't say that to a minor. You weirdo.
Stop! Quit using our friend for your games!
Well, yes,
A
he is.
Keyblade Master wielding your key in anger? Shameful.
Yeah.
We have unfinished business.
Anger
fell
and
into
hate are
darkness.
supreme.
And for 10 years I wandered through the dark realm. Now, I'm finally here. And I want only one thing, with all my heart. Xehanort. I'm casting you out of Terra forever!
Ooh, Nelly.
Farewell.
Okay. Apparently in Square-Enix's opinion, Cure goes on triangle.
I always put it on triangle.
Yeah, no.
I guess because Cure is green and the triangle is green.
Oh, I just did it again. Oh, well, at least it wasn't an ether this time. I don't know what to...
Ready when you are.
Ooh, icy sliders move.
Oh, hello. Yeah, I can't really pull off a lot of combos without just getting hit a bunch.
Yeah, you gotta know when to block certain moves like that. Finish! Oh, too late.
Oh.
That's it. It's yours. That's it.
Ready, Aqua.
Now!
It's over.
Oh yeah, you have your shot lock as well. And you just wanted to attack you there. Oh, because Ven's down. You almost have it. Just keep dodging.
Give it up.
Give it up. Come on! Okay.
And just to get to that cutscene.
Aqua! Ven! Sora!
It's me, Sora.
Oh, so okay, I can choose
I will
again.
end
Yep.
this here and now.
That Guardian gonna punch you. Come, Guardian.
I'm just gonna knock one of them out as best I can.
Yeah.
Ready when you are.
Then, now!
You gotta break out of that.
Okay. Thank you. Quit running. Come on, man.
He's scared. He's like, ah! Oh, he's shooting fireballs. There you go. Spinning all over the place.
Let's go.
Oh, he's riding on his keyblade.
Yeah. Get up there and give him the icy slider.
Yeah.
I like Sora being here.
Yeah. He's pretty good at healing.
Quit riding his keyblade. Yeah, and Vanitas is really annoying to fight.
Yeah.
It's like running away.
That's it. She can't even catch him.
Despair.
Wow, I couldn't even catch up to him. Holy crap.
You know I need the rest of
Whew. Yeah, he liked running away. Ouchie. That hurt. He got a boo-boo.
It's like an Oni-G cartoon's
face.
weird face inside, like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm the piece of Ventus that was taken away. And you're the piece Ventus needed to be whole again. So, why shouldn't you and I look exactly the same? You define me, Sora, the same way
It's kinda
that
creepy,
Ventus
dude.
does. We are brothers who together
So,
make a greater
Haley Joel
whole.
Osment playing Vanitas in Birth by Sleep was really good. In this game, he's kind of weak.
Kind of hammy.
Because I
Yeah.
am darkness. And I do
I
stand
mean, to be
by
fair,
your
it
side.
had been like,
I'm
what,
the
10
shadow
years
that
since he had
you
done the
cast.
voice, probably. Aside from
Yeah.
a couple
Much
throwaway
closer could
lines
I
in like
be?
Birth by or at a Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah.
But
Might
I
have forgotten
didn't-
kind of
I
what he
didn't
did.
ask for this. To be sifted apart, nice and neat. We should be free to choose.
Honestly,
just light,
I think he still sounded
just
good in this
darkness.
in like the
We decide what we are.
in the Land of Departure
Ventus,
and in
I did decide who I am. You
in
see?
Monstropolis. He sounded
Oh
alright.
yeah, he was in there.
Yeah.
What you are is darkness?
And when he was
What I
trapped in the
am
tuba in
is darkness.
in Toy Box. Throwback joke to a much older episode
Okay.
of this
Jeez,
series.
that was a long time ago now.
Yeah.
How is that okay? Vanitas?
Anita.
Anita what?
I need a break from all this stupid. I'm 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Are both of you ready?
Oh, are both of you ready? Oh no.
Times ahead.
Oh no.
He's putting on a light show. Do a little dance.
This lasts an unreasonably long time. Okay.
Join the shadows.
Oh no, he's dead. No, he's
Sora's got him.
Ready when you are.
Ben, now!
Isn't this song new? Like this particular arrangement?
For the DLC or?
At least Like the song that was playing when we fought both of them at the same time. I'm not sure if the one we just heard
I'm not
was
sure.
the same one or not.
It's a pretty flashy key.
Aqua. Ben.
Terra, please.
Come back! Terra! Terra! Your friends are here!
Terra!
You have to fight the darkness!
Ha 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 ha. You'll never be able to break these chains.
Yeah, this guy goes like all
They're
goofball
our
bad guy.
bonds.
I mean, I guess it's kind of fitting,
You have no power
but it's kind of
over
funny.
me.
It's like, "Mwahahaha."
Richard Epcar.
Yeah.
Please stop it!
What else does he do that I might know?
He's in some anime.
Uh,
He's in some other games. I think he does. I think he's in Skyrim, but I can't.
on Skyrim
I think he does some voices in Skyrim.
as like a dragon,
No, he's just like a.
Promise.
just a dude,
I can't remember.
one of like the NPCs or something. Man, there were people who had theories about this being the case with the Guardian.
Nomura probably read the.
There were
Oh.
there were a lot of people who said no.
You fell to the dark.
What if that's just how Terra looks from now on?
That'd be really funny. He just has like a really wrinkly nose.
Right.
That's a really creepy design though.
I will.
So he's just like in the end scene, he's on Destiny Islands with him, just like throwing frisbee and stuff, and he just looks like this.
Just like
I will
has that
return to
face,
this
like he
land.
can't even smile or
Yeah.
anything.
And protect.
What if he accidentally like
my
crushed his head?
friends.
What if he actually just made it pop?
Now!
Oh, here we go. This is new, right?
Yep. So this is
This is
going
Sora
back
went
to
in
save.
time.
Yeah. Going back to save Kyrie. Don't breathe in the water, Sora.
Happened to me. I leapt out of Terra's thoughts, and we fought Xehanort together.
In case you forgot, in all the... It's gotta remind you which Sora this is.
This awaits you.
It's gonna shoot a final flash. Obliterates half of Sora's body.
Sora's voiced by Damian Clark.
Yeah.
You maimed me.
That's it! This is Terra's heart! He must have protected me.
Aqua. Ben.
I like this scene.
Tara? Is it you?
Yeah. You never stop lighting my way back.
This is a new arrangement, right?
I think so, yeah.
This is nice.
You're here.
I like this better than
I heard you
the
too,
regular
Ven.
one.
Mm-hmm.
You found me, just like you promised. Thank you.
Aqua and Ventus need rest. Tara, look after them.
No, Sora. I'm going to.
That's what he wants. For us to make a mistake. Put ourselves in danger.
Sora, go. We'll catch up with you.
Right. I got this.
I need to swap out the camera battery.
Okay.
Just need a. There's a safe point here that. Nope.
Yeah, you can pause, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do that real quick.
Okay.
Good job, camera.
Yeah.
You've been a real champ.
Coffee's good.
Good.
Better be good. It's
kind of expensive, yeah.
Like in Seoul.
Yeah.
But I don't mind like paying extra money for good coffee.
Yeah.
거기 깊잖아, 리선아. 일로 와.
그러게. 근데 우리 아까 일로 왔냐? 아니? 그지? 몰라. 우리 많이 들어왔다. 아까 이게 아니었어. 아까 이렇게 안 왔어. 와. 그러네. 멋있다.
TV에서만 보던 거네. 그치?
에이, 여기. You see this, like a bigger version?
I don't think the footage is. There it is. It's hard to see through the camera because of the sun.
And there are crabs.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a tiny crab. Oh, there's a fish.
Yeah.
Ooh, like shrimps.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see that like flat fish.
Yeah. Do it again, Jihi. That little dance you do.
Remember the dragonfly sign?
Yeah. What did it say again?
It said like the way like dragonflies fly.
Is by
It's
moving
like,
their wings up and down?
Like up and down, not like this.
Ah, right.
I'm a dragonfly.
Wow.
I move my wings like up and down.
Now show me how you're not a dragonfly. Tree's 1,000 years old.
Something really crazy. Not sure if you can see it. It's like a croissant, like pastry, like the layers. Like.
Oh yeah.
The bugs?
The disgusting bugs.
Yeah, no, they're all over the place. Can you record me?
Oh, the little girl scared me.
Hey, it's a crab.
Oh,
it's a
this.
crab.
Okay.
It's a crab.
It's not a.
No, it's like a fast-moving little guy. You see?
Where is it?
He's right down here. He's kind of maybe he's scared. Hey, buddy. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Maybe eat you. Without like hurting you.
Hey, come on, come on.
It's human!
No, come on. I feel like I would have to ask my dad for details, but I feel like I recall Jamison really, like they went to Maine together and they came to a beach kind of like this, and I think Jamison really enjoyed checking out the tide pools. You know tide pools? Oh, it's like little, like this, like the tide goes out but there's still water, and there's like kind of creatures swimming in the water waiting for the tide to come back in so they can go out. It's called tide pools. And so Jamison got to see some of those and thought it was really cool. Jamison liked the beach and like the ocean and stuff. You know, I don't know. I think a lot of people like the ocean, but it's like something he liked.
Kid has been crazy.
야, 성공! 오랜만에 살이라도 빼는 것 같네! 야, 또 있다! 아씨!
What's going on here?
What is he holding? Another crab?
He knows I'm here. He's hiding.
Hey, come on. Hey, come on, come on. Howdy.
Crab party.
Hey. The one is hiding. Oh yeah, they're right there. Oh yeah, yeah. Whoa! Whoa! Ooh!
Oh, hello.
Whoa, it's super fast. You see how fast? Sorry.
He enjoys terrorizing the wildlife.
This is like...
Can you sign a form of consent that you'll be in my YouTube video? I've it's really cool out here. I thought for a while that some of the tribute videos, a lot of them just wind up with go somewhere, do some stuff, and then have a long 40-minute segment of me talking. I've thought for a while that one or two of these, maybe I should just kind of have a bunch of footage of nature and don't really comment on it. Just here's some nature for you, Jamison. Here's some cool stuff for you to see. And Jamison loved this kind of stuff. And I mean, he liked being in California by the beach and visiting Maine and all that. So I think, I don't know, I mean, that's kind of what, like the hike, that's kind of what a lot of the pretty footage I capture is like, but it's just like, here's nice stuff in this tribute for you, Jamison. So just kind of, let's record some cool by the sea tide pool crab stuff for him. Sunset behind me while I was talking. So there's an island over here that when the tide is low enough, you can walk to it. Yeah. Right.
Otherwise, you have to like swim back here or just stay overnight.
Yeah.
Sometimes we see news like people like drive like down to the base and they don't know about the tide, so they get stuck. So
Oh, man.
it's like water is all the way up here and the car is in the
Oh man. Oh man.
This one happens in the Come take a look, there is something really big. It's got like a lot of like sea creatures on the surface. There's a big fly.
I got the straw. I picked up that straw, I saw it, and I thought this can't go back in the ocean, I'd feel bad. So, thanks Jamison for inspiring me to pick up trash. I probably would have picked that up even if it hadn't been for Jamison, though that's kind of wrong. Someone left a straw there.
All right, so this is my dad, and I thought it would be real. My dad took a trip with Jamison to Maine, see the beach and stuff back in 2010. I had it in my mind that it was a lot more recent, but it was 2010. But it was a trip that I was in Clarksville in 2010. Why did I not go on this trip?
You weren't at home.
I was
I
just
don't know.
busy with school and stuff, I guess. But
Yeah.
all right. I mean, I was busy with work. I was working at Target a lot in the summers and stuff. But anyway, yeah. So this video I'm working on currently has all the tide pools and stuff I visited with Jihi. So I remember that there was a trip that I hadn't been on that Jamison had been on to Maine, with him looking at tidal pools and being excited. And I thought it'd be nice to collect some memories that I don't even have, that I wasn't present for, that are kind of relevant to that, because Jamison loved nature, and he loved animals and insects and stuff. He was always texting me random information about birds and cats and types of fish and stuff. He was interested in that, and he really liked the beach and the ocean. So I thought it was a prime opportunity to just include some of that. So just whatever you happen to remember from that trip. Stuff that he enjoyed, stuff that he did, maybe like images that might have stuck in your mind. You said you watched the sunrise or the sunset?
No, the sunrise, that was with Linda after.
Oh, he was not there for that trip.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
right. See, Linda and I went twice to Maine. And the first time my sister Donna we knew that she had cancer, but she was still able to, travel locally
And do stuff, yeah.
Be in a car and all. So the first trip was spending time with her. We went by where we could see President Bush's house there at Kennebunkport, and just drove around, went to Nubble Lighthouse, and went to a place where several states come together, and it's on high ground, and so we did all of that. And the second trip was just 2 weeks prior to her death. But and to see her for the last time. But during those trips, I think the first trip is when Linda and I several times got up before daylight and went out and watched the sun come up, and
Oh yeah, of course it was
got
the sunrise,
pictures of that.
because it's the east. Okay, what am I? All right.
Yeah.
This whole trip to
But,
Jeju, I kept mixing up sunrise and sunset, and I'm even doing that now in this video chat.
Well, I'm guilty of that as well, because I told Jamison the sunrise, Linda and I enjoyed it so much. It was so beautiful. I told Jamison he really needed to watch the sunrise come up over the ocean.
In California. I think that's where I got confused. Like, you had told him that.
Yeah, and it was like, I don't think I could do that. Maybe if he'd gone out to an island,
Yeah.
He might could have handled it then. But, yeah, he would have to do it as the sunset.
Okay, I remember you told me that you had told him that, and then I also knew that he had taken a trip to Maine with you, and somehow those two things that I was not present for blended in my brain to he watched the sunrise with you in Maine, but that did not happen.
Right.
Okay.
I see. And it's understandable that you could have confused those two trips, but anyway, I do think that Jamison kind of sort of took my advice and watched the sunset. in California, and I'm sure it was beautiful as well. But anyway, back to the 2010 trip with Jamison. It was just he and I, and we went and we stayed at my sister Donna's. And the tidal pools, I'm pretty sure Donna knew of a good place, and to see those. And we went there, and it wasn't far from where she lived. But I think that it was pretty much my first experience as well with tidal pools. So it was really cool. But Jamison, he really enjoyed it because there's this little ecosystem, and it's like a glimpse into another world, and it's right there in front of you, perfectly clear water, and it's just really, really cool. It's something I'd like to do again, but Jamison was wading around in those pools. I forget specifically what he may have found, because I went back to the pools with Linda too, but you could see little lobsters occasionally. I know that we found little lobsters, all kinds of little fish, because the tide was out, and there's several of these pools scattered around. A lot of land birds, seagulls, and even ducks, just what I always considered as freshwater ducks. Some mallards were swimming around in some of these pools.
In the sea.
Kind of surprised.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it kind of surprised me. But, and I got video of some of that with Linda. But anyway, I know Jamison, for him, it was an adventure, because I'm not sure when the previous trip to Maine for him, and probably, I'm sure you too, was. It may have been.
I think it would have been 2001, the summer before I started 8th grade.
Yeah, we went to both of those events, both weddings.
Right.
Tiffany and Sherilyn, and Tiffany was the last of the two.
So I think that was summer of 2001. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so with that in mind, Jamison's previous trip, he would have been really small, young.
Would have been like 9.
This was, so this was a trip where he's just, I think, 17, 18-year-old, and he's athletic, and so the ocean was, he hadn't been to California yet, so the ocean was going to be almost like a new experience for him, being closer to adulthood. And so he was all out in those tidal pools, and he was searching for aquatic life and turning rocks over in the pools and looking for lobster, and I don't know, seemed like we may have seen some starfish, but they were really, really cool. We did it more than once. We also went for walks, walked on the beach some. One thing that we did that we really enjoyed, or at least I did, and I think he did too, is Nels, Donna's husband. We had a Frisbee, and we were out on the beach.
On the beach with a Frisbee.
Yeah, and Nils and Jamison and myself just spread out and was throwing Frisbee. Donna was there too, but it was mainly just the three of us. And it was fun because we were, all three of us, pretty good with a Frisbee. So it wasn't like just standing a few feet from each other. We were spread out. We was letting it fly, and there was a lot of running and chasing going on. And we were all good at using a Frisbee. And we did that for a while one day. I mean, it was fun, and I really enjoyed it because, I hadn't done anything like that for a while with you boys. It'd been a while, and I felt proud of Jamison as this young man, and just watching him and Chase. He was much more nimble and fleet of foot than I was, so that was cool as a father, just getting to do that with him. And I know I've thrown Frisbees with you and some of your friends in in the front yard.
Yeah.
So that was fun. So you can kind of imagine what it was like out on the beach.
On the beach.
But
yeah, those were friends, some of my internet friends when they visited. There's a little bug crawling on my pop filter, just a sec. Okay. Now that bug is somewhere else in my apartment. Anyway.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's tiny. But anyway, yeah, no, that was some of my friends who visited. One from North Carolina and then two from New York. And they all converged in Clarksville, and yeah, we threw Frisbee. Jamison actually spent some time with them too. That's the thing we've always done is from one of my earliest memories of like stuff I did outside as a kid is playing Frisbee with you. Like that's one of the things, if I'm able to visit with Jihi, I really want to play Frisbee in the yard with Jihi and you.
Yeah. I tried to teach you boys how to throw a Frisbee, and it's make sure when you release it that your hand is pointing towards in the direction you want it to go.
Yeah.
And the Frisbee is level to the ground and not tilted at an angle, and y'all both did really, really good and learned quickly, and that was a source of enjoyment for us. I first learned to throw a Frisbee with your Uncle Earl, and we spent hours and hours in front of where I grew up in the front yard throwing Frisbees, and sometimes we'd throw it over the head or one of our heads, and the Frisbee go out over 79 highway across the road, and we'd have to watch for cars and cross the road and get it. But yeah, that's something I've always enjoyed, is throwing a Frisbee, and actually did it some 2 weeks ago. We had some friends over, and we were in the backyard throwing a Frisbee.
The backyard?
Yeah, they got out there before I did, so I went out, and that's where they had gone to, is the backyard, and I'm like, whoa. And it was difficult because it was on a slant.
Yeah.
Frisbee went in the woods a couple of times.
Anyone who's seen my video of me showing the outside of the house I grew up in, if you remember the backyard, that's a good way to roll your ankle, trying to run around, catch a Frisbee on that.
Yeah, and try to do it when you're 61 and overweight. But yeah. There was one time I wasn't sure I was going to get stopped before I ran into the woods. But anyway, I'm not as good at it as I used to be. So be forewarned if Jae comes over. But
that's fine.
I'll do my best. But anyway, back to Maine. Let's leave Clarksville and go back to Maine. Yeah, we had a good time on the beach. Just, the tidal pools were probably the funnest thing that we did, and just getting to see that sample of what the bottom of the ocean was like. And you've got seaweed and stuff floating around in there too, so it's really, really cool. I'm pretty sure we also had lobster. That's something that we almost always did when we went to visit Donna. She would have lobster, and later on whatever.
I would hope you
whatever leftover she would make into lobster rolls.
Right.
So we enjoyed cracking the lobster open and eating it that way initially, and then later having lobster rolls for lunch or whatever in the following days. But Donna for me was a special sister. I'm getting off topic, but
that's okay. Well, it's I don't know. She was your sibling. And this whole thing is for my brother's your son, but I feel like this stuff is kind of connected. Like I've talked to other people about their sibling stuff. And
she was special to me, and I was the ring bearer in her wedding. When Nels was in Vietnam, I would go and visit Donna. I was real young, and I remember she let me drive her Volkswagen Beetle that she had. We would get out on gravel roads, and she taught me how to drive that little Volkswagen with a clutch, and so we just did cool stuff. Even though she was the oldest of us siblings and I was the youngest. But I just felt like, we just had this cool bond, and I feel close to her daughter Tiffany too. It's like she and I have a bond too. It's different from Donna and I, but I saw Tiffany take her first steps as a baby. I was there when it happened, and just going. I'm 9 years older than Tiffany, and I remember I used to eat their Halloween candy when they would bring it home, and she still kids me about that. But Tiffany and I get along really well too. I know this is outside of what.
No, I like this stuff. I would actually like to have Tiffany share some memories someday in these videos. I was going to ask, how much older was Donna than you? Because you're 9 years older than Tiffany. How old was Donna when you were born?
Donna was 19 when she got married, and I was 6. So, 13 years difference. I barely have memories of her living at home prior to her getting married. But she played the piano. She used to play piano in the church we went to, and I have memories of her doing that. And she was very intelligent. She did really good in school, and was very good with languages, learning different languages. Things came pretty easy to her in that way. But enough of that. I mean, this is stuff, I guess, I got sidetracked, but for your own personal
That's fine. I like this
knowledge,
stuff.
you know.
All this stuff. I mean, this is the kind of conversation we would, like, if Jamison were here, we would maybe be talking about this, because it's stuff that he would be interested in too. Like, Donna loved him and Jamison loved Donna.
Right.
So I think all this stuff is, all these memories, we can pool them.
And Donna loved you too.
Yes. Yeah, I know. You interrupted my really bad joke about pooling them together in a memory tide pool. It's probably for the best that you shut that down as it was happening.
That's okay. But I can't really think of anything else. I'm sure I'm missing probably some stuff that happened on the main trip, but you know, it's been 12 years ago. I can't really think of anything else specifically. For Jamison, I think it was just kind of an adventure, and I think he had a good time. On the beach and visiting, relatives. And that's what I was wanting for him. So, it was a good trip, I think, for him. Would have been cool if you had been there as well. It would have been a memory the three of us could have shared, but there were others.
Well, just off the top of my head, I was thinking about a memory of the three of us, and I just thought about something we talked about the other day, Fall Creek Falls, that time that we three were walking around on the rocks to go behind the waterfall.
Right.
And I think it was me. I lost my footing and started to fall, and you caught me really quick. I think that was me.
Okay.
It's totally disconnected from Maine, but I was just thinking of something specifically involving us three.
Yeah, I know I don't know if your mother was real keen on the idea, but because getting back there behind it was all under the falls, and in front of it is a lot of pretty good sized rocks. So the footing was not good at all. And it wasn't like just everybody did that. It's while we were there, I didn't see anyone else do that. But and y'all were younger. Y'all were kids. So but it's something, I don't know if it was one of yours or Jamison's idea, or
I think it was mine. Well, I think Jamison and I both wanted to do that, and we did it more than once, I recall.
Yeah,
like on different trips to the waterfall. Yeah,
I know there was a lot of mist, because the falls, those are pretty high falls, and there was a lot of mist that we didn't get. We didn't get in the water. I mean, like walk right in the water. I don't think we went behind them, but we probably got pretty damp just from the mist from the falls. But yeah, that was a cool memory. I know Fall Creek Falls, there's away from the falls themselves, just in that area, it's like Savage Gulch, and it's a lot of cliffs and drop-offs, and there's a road that kind of drives around some of those cliffs and everything, and there's places where you can pull off to the the side of the road, and there's overlooks most of those overlooks don't have any railing. You know, you get out of your car and, you know, if you just wanted to take a swan dive off of there and end it all, you could have easily. But I was just always nervous because y'all were young. And I didn't want to get too close to the edge with y'all. So I always had hold of you two. And we were staying back from the edge, but you know, close enough where we could enjoy the scenery. But
reasonably so, yeah.
I was just did not want any kind of accident, you know. But I know we stayed in the lodge.
Yeah.
At least one. We may have taken 2 trips.
I remember a few trips to Fall Creek Falls. I don't know how many exactly, but I remember that being something that happened repeatedly. I want to say more than 2.
I think we camped one time.
Maybe.
And seems like maybe Phil and Sana, we met them.
Yeah, we went with them one time, and Lisa and Travis.
One time? Yeah.
And we stayed in the lodge. You know the lodge, I looked this up for a previous video where I was talking about Fall Creek Falls and Jamison, and the lodge is closed now. It's being replaced with another hotel type thing that's basically the same thing, but yeah, it's kind of sad. Feels like a piece of history.
Yeah, it's pretty old, but it was built so massively. I mean, it was just a whole lot of concrete involved in that, you know, so it was almost like a lodge version of Hoover Dam. You know, it was just made to last, you know, so it is kind of, I agree, it's a shame they couldn't just take that structure and update it, but I guess I assume they're tearing it down. I don't know. I haven't been.
It's been a while since I read that article, but I want to say it might be the same owners. They're just going to build something different there. I forget, but anyway. While we were talking, I got a text from the man from Greenbrier. He needs to borrow my precision screwdriver, so he might momentarily interrupt this video chat to come in and take a screwdriver and then leave.
The man from Greenbrier. I wonder if they can make it sounds like a good title to a movie.
Yeah. We're talking about Bobby, who's, if anyone's watched multiple of these videos, they probably know who Bobby is. Back when my dad visited me in Korea in 2018, ended up hanging out with Bobby quite a bit. And Bobby's from Greenbrier, Tennessee, so my dad calls him the man from Greenbrier.
Yeah, it's kind of like the movie The Man from Snowy River.
I've not seen that movie.
You need to watch that. It's like Australia, and it's a lot of good action with horses and stuff, you know. Anyway, I watched that movie not long ago. That's probably where I got The Man from Greenbrier from, was thinking about the movie The Man from Snowy River. But,
give me a second, I'm going to unlock the door for him, and then I won't have to get up when he comes.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway.
Just another memory, and this is probably something that you recall from Jamison's memorial service, but I had forgotten it. So, you know, a memorial service for a son, a brother. It's not a happy occasion, but we did laugh about this, and it was Phil, you know, our neighbor's
Phil and Sana.
From across the street.
Yeah.
Phil and Sana and Lisa and Travis all came to the memorial service, and of course we were discussing Jamison some, and Phil brought up a memory that he had of Jamison. We were all over in their yard playing softball, and Jamison he was real small, young. He was probably between 5 and 7, I'm guessing, years old. And he had gotten on base, and and I forget who hit the ball, but Phil was saying, "Run home, Jamison, run
Oh,
home."
yeah.
And Jamison didn't know what he was talking about, so he turned and started running for the house.
So, yeah, these are our next door neighbors. Our house is like a 1 or 2 minute walk, so for people who are watching.
Yeah, so
he
so
literally
he didn't know that about home base,
Yeah.
in softball or baseball. He just like run home, and he was like, okay. He started running across the street.
literally ran home.
We're like, no, Jason. No.
I remember that. I was there for that. Bobby's here, by the way.
Hello, Bobby.
My dad said hi. You can't hear because I'm wearing headphones.
Oh, hi.
The man from Greenbrier.
Yep.
Looking more towards...
You can just take all of them if you want.
These should be good.
Okay.
What is he just taking apart?
His laptop.
Fixing.
He needs to check out something in his laptop. I don't know the details, but
Testing. It has to do with the fans.
it has to do
Lots
with
of luck with
it has
that.
to do with the
So
fans.
I gotta pop off the back
He's
of
got
this
to
thing.
pop off the
Check
back
it
of
out.
this thing. My dad said lots of luck with that.
Oh, thank you.
He said thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. I think I was there for that when Jamison just started. He literally ran to our home.
Or I don't think he got there, but he was headed
Yeah,
in that direction.
right.
We finally got him turned around, but yeah. That's I don't know, such innocence.
Yep. I'd like to someday. I don't know how they would feel about this because I don't really talk to Sana and Phil at all, ever. Like ever since I moved to Seattle, the times I've talked to them have maybe twice. Once when I was visiting from Seattle and we had a camp out over. Well, not a camp out, but like a cookout. Like we had a campfire out there at their place, and then at the memorial. Otherwise, I haven't talked to them, and it's not that I don't like them. I mean, obviously not. I just don't talk to them. It's kind of a shame because anyway, yeah, I don't know how they'd feel about it, but it'd be nice. It'd be interesting to pick their brains for memories sometime. Also miss Patty, since she was his babysitter.
Right. Well, yeah, they may not want to be videoed.
Right.
I don't know, but they would talk to you about it, I'm sure.
Yeah. I can ask them sometime and just see what they'd be all right with, but that's for another time. Oh, by the way, this is actually going to be for a different video, what I'm about to ask you, but Jamison, we already talked about this over text a little bit ago, but Jamison's name, Jamison Reed Bagwell.
I just hope, well, you didn't know my grandmother, know that we thought of her as a special lady, and a lady that would take us fishing as boys. Anyway.
It's good that you claimed that quilt because that's what she would have wanted. That's what she said.
Right.
That bug is back,
Yeah.
or it's a different bug.
I hope it's the same one.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Stay off my pop filter, please.
So, what else you want to... I'm just rattling on. I don't know what you want to talk to me
No, this is
about,
all good
so-
stuff. Jameis, what is it? Speaking of fishing, I actually went fishing 2 days ago for the first time in I don't know how many years. I think the last time I went fishing was with you when I was a child. It's been a very long time since I've been fishing.
Yeah.
Spoilers for future videos in the series, we went to Jeju, Jihi and I, and one of the things we did was go on a boat that took us out to sea, and we fished. And I baited my hook and cast my line, and immediately caught one fish. And in the process of trying to pull the hook out of its mouth, it had teeth, and I didn't know how sharp they were, so I didn't want to reach my finger in too far because it was squirming and stuff. And so I could have gotten better leverage to have more control over what I was doing with the hook if I'd reached in further, but I didn't want to. And trying to remove the hook from this fish's face, I accidentally pierced it through its cheek, and it came out of its, like in its mouth and out its cheek, its face. I don't know if you could say a fish has a cheek, but out of the side of its face. Gills, yeah. And I was really, I mean, this is gonna sound silly, but I'm 33 years old, but I haven't been fishing in ages, and I know this is what happens sometimes. But I don't have a problem with killing animals for food, but I don't want them to suffer. And trying to pull the hook out of this thing's face, I was just tearing up this fish's face, and I felt terrible. I just felt horrible. Like I could not get the hook out. And finally I did, and dropped it in the water, and the fish seemed all right. But I just stopped fishing after that. I just enjoyed the waves and looked out at the water and stuff. Just felt really bad. I don't like hurting things. If I kill something, I'd rather, if I were to hunt, you go hunting and you shoot something and it dies instantly. Ideally, it dies very quickly, and then you eat it, and that's all right. But yeah, I just felt bad about that food. I don't want to get into all that here necessarily, but just I haven't been fishing in ages. The only memories I have of fishing are with you. When I was really little. Jamison went fishing with his friends sometimes when he was like a teenager, I think.
Yeah. They used to go to the creek down by the church,
yeah. Yeah, you took me out there when I visited summer 2019. You drove me there so I could record, and I actually talked a little bit there. Yeah, in stark contrast to me feeling bad about hurting a fish, trying to remove a hook, I've heard that apparently Jamison and his friends found a turtle and cut its head off. I don't know if that's true, but someone told me...
I have not heard that.
Yeah, they found a turtle and cut its head off and then boiled it and ate it or something. Not too crazy about that.
Well, supposedly turtles, I've heard, especially a soft-shelled turtle, are good to eat. But I've never put that to practice. I've never eaten turtle. But deep sea fishing, I went once in Maine. I don't know if I caught anything or not. I don't remember.
I don't know if this was deep sea fishing that I did the other day. We weren't that far from land, really.
Well, I just refer any fishing in the ocean where you're in a boat.
Okay.
That's how I refer to it. But if you're fishing off the beach, they call it surf fishing, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't know the terms.
But I've been to Gulf Shores, Alabama 3 times when I was working at Train, and went with friends that I had from there primarily. Each time I got seasick, and we weren't in a party boat. We were, we paid a captain and a first mate to go out there and take us out in their boat, and each time we went out of sight of land, and Even though I took precautions and I had a patch I put behind my ear that's supposed to help you, and watched what I ate and everything, I got sick each time I went. So I finally decided, from fishing in the ocean point of view, I'd just get my saltwater fish from Kroger's after that. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So I haven't. After the third trip, I don't know if I barely got a line in the water and I immediately got sick. So I spent 8 hours in the cabin with, picture me with my knees spread apart, my elbows on my knees, and I'm holding my head with both hands and just sick, and with occasional trips out to throw up in the ocean. So
yeah, that sounds pretty miserable.
Anyway, I do like to fish and have done a lot of freshwater fishing, and went creek fishing, maybe 5 weeks ago, creek here in Tennessee called Yellow Creek, and went with a friend that I used to work with, and we caught some what we call red eye. They're kind of similar to bluegill. I caught one really smallmouth bass. It was fun. We were wading in the creek, so that was cool. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what else.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that might be good for this then. For my purposes here. We talked about Maine and got into all that stuff. The tide pools. I realized I had an opportunity, and I could, if I didn't do it now, it would just be sloppier to insert it later in a later video, and then be like, hey, remember those tide pools? Well, I thought about this, but I didn't do it. It just makes more sense to graft it onto the video where that's what I'm actually doing. Checking. Although I feel like this, I don't know, I feel like tide pools are literally just the temporary pools of water left when the tide recedes, right? Like, I feel like what I saw in Korea was maybe not quite the same thing. I mean,
tidal pools are, it's the depression on the seafloor, if you want to call it that. In Maine, there's rocks and kind of associated with these, and when the tide goes out, it's a combination of whatever fish were maybe in those rocks in that depression. Small lobsters, whatever, kind of stay there, and then other fish, instead of following the tide out, they find themselves in this tidal pool,
right,
and they're kind of stuck there.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's
small fish.
That's literally what I saw. I guess when people talk about tide pools being these rich, their own ecosystems, I imagine something more vivid than what I saw. Like, what I saw was cool. I guess it just depends on where you are. But yeah, I saw fish, and I saw barnacle looking things, and there were crabs, and the whole rock area you could walk on when the tide was out was just covered in these wharf roaches, these like sea roaches. Yeah.
Really?
They look like fossils. They look like some of the oldest life forms on planet Earth, like those fossils from the deep sea. I can't think.
But they're alive?
Yeah, they're actually alive, and they're just roaches. They're just, I read up on them. They're basically the custodians of the beach. they run around and they eat dead stuff like rotting seaweed and dead fish, and then seagulls come down and eat them.
They're scavengers.
Yeah. I mean, they're really gross, and I understood. Like, Jihi was just disgusted by them the whole time. I didn't even want to look at them. I don't know if she's even going to watch this video that I'm putting this into, because I spent a lot of time getting close to the roaches and following them with my camera, and she really hates to even just look at them. But I got a story about a roach. I'll tell you in a second. But I thought they were cool. Like, I understand not wanting them on you, but when you actually look at them, I think they look really cool. And I think part of the reason I followed them is because Jamison was interested in that kind of stuff, and I feel like Jamison would also have probably been fascinated by them. Like, looking up stuff about these roaches because he's just curious what they are and what they're all about is that's a Jamison thing. That's something he would do. And then he'd probably tell you about it.
There was a picture of Jamison. I'm sure you've seen it, but it was when he was in California and at the business he worked at.
Canal, yeah.
And he found a lizard, and he was holding this lizard and looking at it. And it's a pretty good sized lizard too. It's probably 8-10 inches long, as I recall, maybe longer. But he's holding this lizard and looking at it. Yeah, he kind of enjoyed that. I've got a bow up here, Jordan, that you'll inherit one of these days. And there was a picture of Jamison shooting this bow he was probably a young teenager. But it's made out of dogwood, the tree, and Jamison painted a dogwood blossom on the belly of this bow.
Can you show it?
So, can I show it?
Can you like point your phone camera at it?
Well, it's upstairs. I mean, it's. Okay. You can see there's several bows up there. Can you see them?
Oh, okay, like up on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't make out any details.
Right.
With the phone camera.
If you want, I could go up there and get it, but it's, I used to be in a bow making forum called Primitive Archer, and they had a competition of making bows, where people would enter their bows in the monthly competition, and then people would vote on the bows they liked the best, and that bow took first place one month
after he had painted on it.
Yeah, it's the dogwood bow. I took the eye guards, which is part of the antler of a deer, and that's what I put for the tip overlays.
What's that?
I'm getting a message or something. That's just mine.
Okay.
I also took, and this is what I'm about to tell you was just purely cosmetic reasons, nothing to do with performance, but I also took pieces of flint from the archery club, because there's an area where people flint knap make arrowheads, and there's a lot of broken flakes of flint there, all different colors, left over from people making arrowheads. And I got a lot of the different colors of flint, and I ground them up into just really small, almost sugar crystal size. Well, when I was sealing this bow, and I used true oil to seal it with, I put on probably a half dozen coats of true oil, let them dry. This took days. And then I put on a fairly heavy coat, and then on the back of the bow, I sprinkled this flint on it and let it dry and stick. It's kind of stuck in the oil. And then I put more coats of true oil over the top of it and sealed this flint in, just as a cosmetic, but you can take it and kind of see the light reflect off of it. And it's probably the only bow in the world that's got flint ground into the, as part of the limbs.
That's pretty cool.
But the grip for the handle where you hold it is beaver tail, made out of beaver tail. And I did some special lacing, Spanish lacing around the top of it. So I tried to, when I was making a bow, I wanted it to perform good, and I wanted it to look good. And I remember in the forum, someone made a comment and called one of my bows a pretty bow. And he didn't mean it as a compliment.
Right.
And it kind of ticked me off. And I replied back to, and I said, you know what, this bow, I'm going to kill a deer with it this fall. And it's a very good performing bow. It shoots really well. And I said, if somebody just wants a functioning bow and they don't want it to look good, that's fine. I have no issues with that. That's fine. That's primitive. That's, in a survival situation, then that may be all you're capable of doing. Just get a functioning bow. But this bow, if I wanted to leave it at that stage, I would have stopped working on it probably about 12 hours prior, because it took me probably an additional 12 hours after I got the bow to where it was shooting to look nice. And it's like when I hand a bow that I made to somebody to look at, I want to be proud of that bow, and I want them to look at it and say, wow, or at least be impressed with it.
So I've talked about this in some previous videos, like I've shown your stuff, and you can send me, it'd be cool if you sent me pictures of these, like the dogwood bow and this later, but you are a craftsman, and you're also an artist, and like Earl has talked about, like Uncle Earl has referred to your bows as works of art before, but like you're also, like you've been hunting since you were a kid, you're a serious-minded, you like hunting and you want the stuff to do its job, so you didn't compromise the effectiveness or usability of the bow by making it look nice. You just take pride in your craftsmanship and art.
Yeah, I've been involved in the making. Now, I didn't complete all of these, but I've been involved in the making of hundreds of bows, because the archery club that I'm in, the first weekend in May, every year we have a archery event. And while it's a 3-day event, people start showing up. It's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday event. People start showing up really the weekend prior and camping down there. And the bow making part of the event, which has its own shoot, people that get in the bow making and make a bow during that time frame have their own competition between themselves, and they shoot an archery course with the bow they just made, and it's its own class, so they're only competing against other brand new bows that's been made. But anyhow, I've been a member since 2002, and every year I've been the main person every year that help people make bows. Not to say that there's not others that are in that teaching role, and probably in the past 7 or 8 years that there's been more and more people to help teach, but I've been involved in it since the very first year that we did it. And it's what I do during that shoot, is help people make bows. So I've been involved in hundreds of bows, helping people. And I've personally probably made, 50 or so that I made myself and completed. And almost all of those I've given away, but I've got a few that I've kept that are, special to me. But yeah, it's, yesterday I was doing welding on a ladder stand that I'm making for deer hunting, so as you well know, my primary lifetime hobby has been associated with archery and deer hunting. And
Jamison and I grew up eating deer meat and deer jerky.
Right.
And you would take our swing set down and like hang the deer from it before you dressed it. So we would often see a skinned, limbless deer hanging from where our swing set used to be.
Yeah, I made a heavy duty swing set. It's got a roof over the top of it and 4 telephone poles that are, coming up. So it's just, I don't know what you refer to it as, but it's made very heavy, and then it's even, the flooring is set in concrete, and I ran electricity to this. So I've got a 110 outlet and also lights. So, and like you said, at the center of the overhead pole, I've got an eye poke that I can hang a deer from. And I've got a marina cleat that you would tie a boat to. I've got one of those mounted on the post where I can tie the rope off to it when I pull a deer up, and use a pulley system for that. But I can skin a deer after dark if I wanted to, because I got lights. But that swing set, a Mennonite made the actual swing.
Oh.
And I told him I wanted to be able to lay down in it, on it, so it's long. And I wanted the armrest to be wide enough to where the chains that came up through the armrest was out of the way of where you actually lay your arm down. They would be to the outside of that. And it's got, each arm has at the very end of it a place where you can put it's like a glass holder. It's a hole hollowed out or cut out in it where you can set a glass down. So I know you and Jamison use that swing quite a bit. It's in our backyard and it's the woods are down and below it, and it's pretty back there. But I remember Jamison going back there, and he had an old belt. And he nailed one end of that belt. I had the concrete pad framed in some big, probably 4x12 creosote timbers that I first put that framework in prior to pouring the concrete in. So those wooden timbers, Jamison nailed one end of a belt to it such that he could lay down on the swing and grab the other end of that belt with his hand and swing himself just by pulling the belt, which I thought was pretty creative. Now that belt isn't there anymore. I don't know if he took it off and repurposed it for something else, but I thought that was pretty cool. I can right now, in my memory eye, picture him down there laying on that swing, pulling on that belt, swinging himself.
Speaking of, I don't mean to there's stuff I want to say as we talk, but then it just gets swept away by the ever-shifting conversation and topics. But I want to grab something real quick. Just a sec.
Okay.